Phil Sherman. I've been a certified trainer over 20 years, and I'm not the trainer that grew up flat stomach, small waist, in shape with six pack. I had to work for it. Look, I want to talk to you all today about why I detest the term low carb diet. It's some bullshit. Let me just say that flat out. And why do you say that, Akil? Because it's very misleading. Okay, there's two terms together that are very misleading. Number one, low carb. Because low carb does not explain and give you the proper context of what you want to look out for. The second part is diet. Diet, I don't like that term either, because diet means, like unless you say, I got to change up my diet. Okay. In regards to when you say diet, you mean like how you go about your lifestyle and how you eat. Not when I hear diet being like, okay, I got to do this thing for this certain period of time to get this result. Like I hear diet and I immediately think about a roller coaster. Like you get on the roller coaster, it takes you up, takes you down, takes you all around. And then once you get off, and then you don't know what the hell happened, right? You're back to normal, so we want to focus on healthy, sustainable lifestyle. So let's talk about low carb, the term low carb. Let's be specific and understand what we really want to focus on, particularly if our goal is fat loss. All right. Low carb, we want to say starch and refined carbohydrates. We want to focus on reducing or eliminating starch and processed sugar, because those are the types of carbohydrates that we want to look out for in regard to reducing our body fat percentage. Okay, because here's the thing, vegetables and fruit are also carbs. So just saying I need to eat less carbs, you need to eat less sugar, you need to processed sugar, and you need to eat less starch, because those items are what is making you gain body fat. You don't get fat from eating fat, and lean and protein is not that kind of, it won't have that kind of reaction in your system. The key is you got to pay attention to those starches. Here's the thing. You may have heard the term macros, counting my macros. All macro stands for is macronutrients. And macronutrients are just carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And as a human, we need all three of those things. Okay. But we want to focus on the source and the quality. When we focus on the source and the quality, then we start to develop a healthy lifestyle. And then fat loss will come, as a byproduct of doing the right thing. So again, bread, rice, corn, pasta, wheat, potatoes, and processed sugar are the starches that we want to look out for. Those are the items that we want to pay attention to if our goal is fat loss. So when you hear low carb, that is what people really should be saying. It would be more educational, and it'd be easier to adhere to that. Now, I know folks are going like, well, damn, I really enjoy all those things. Well, what you're saying is your taste buds enjoy those things. Your body probably does not, right? And so I commonly talk about not letting your taste buds psych out your body. And then the other part of it is there are a lot of substitutions that you can make that will help you scratch the itch of those foods that you enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, like pasta. Like if we think about pasta, like Italians living in Italy eat a ton of pasta. However, they are healthy people, and the Mediterranean diet is lauded as one of the most healthy, options, the healthier ways to eat out there. So if we think about rice, for instance, if we think about Chinese people in China, they eat a lot of rice. However, they eat a lot of rice, but they're slim people. So we got to look at how these foods are being processed here in the States, which is why, they are so problematic for us here in the US because of how they respond in our body. So I like to talk about finding substitutions for those things. So like if for rice, for instance, you would like your rice to come from the East. You would like pasta that would be veggie based, because flour and yeast are not your friends, particularly when fat loss is the goal. Okay. And so regular, nutrient lacking white rice that comes from the factories and processed here in the States generally are no bueno. So if people say, well, what about brown rice? Well, brown rice has a good amount of gluten in it, and that can still have a negative impact on you. So again, you're better served, like I said, if you could either order your rice from Amazon and it's coming from somewhere in the East, or you have an Asian supermarket close to your home or somewhere that's convenient where you can get it from there. But, you know, if we're talking about the traditional regular rice that you see on the shelves, I'd avoid that. Okay. So, but that's what we're talking about. That was just a few examples. And I'll give you, I'll talk about something that I have a free offer for you guys at the end. I'll get to that in a minute here. But the main thing is when you hear low carb diet, you really want to focus, instead of hearing low carb, think low starch, think low processed sugar. As a way of approaching your nutrition. Because when you focus on eliminating or reducing those things, then you can expect to see good results and fat loss within your body. Okay. So again, you say, well, what do I eat? You focus on vegetables, fruit, lean sources of protein, and drink your water. If you are doing those, if you're consuming those 4 things, you don't really have to pay attention to much else. You know what I mean? Because those foods aren't going to make you get overweight. Now people say, what about caloric deficit? Caloric deficit. Relax, my caloric deficit heads out there. The thing is, when you're eating those 4 foods, eating that kind of way, or eating that way, good Lord, when you're eating that way, you know, because your body is so well fed that you don't really have to pay attention to calories because you won't find yourself overeating that. Like nobody's overeating celery, carrots, spinach, apples, bananas, oranges. Like who's overeating that and drinking their water and eating these sorts of protein? That's not how people are getting fat out here. So let's be realistic. So when you're focusing on, you know, eating to feel nourished, other thing is what else you'll find is that your taste buds change. So like because people, you know, if you haven't made that shift yet, the specter of how you think things are going to go start to take up a lot of space in your mind. Like you start to hear these voices, like you're telling yourself, oh, that's going to be hard. Oh, I don't want to give that up. Oh, I really like such and such. And what you mean is your taste buds. But when you think about next time you eat, well, here's an interesting thing. So many people are so used to eating a certain way that they don't even know how bad they actually feel. Like you don't even understand why you're getting, you know, maybe you have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, maybe you're constipated, maybe you have a lot of acid reflux, maybe you have GERD. I mean, it's all kinds of things that may be happening in your body as a product of you eating a certain way for so long, and you haven't gone without those foods long enough to see your body respond. So the point I was originally going to make is when you eliminate foods that that feel bad in your body, there's going to be a shift. There's going to be a shift in you in terms of how you feel, and there's going to be a shift in your taste buds. You know, like I have clients, I've been doing this, like I said, for over 2 decades. And after about 3 weeks of eating more vegetables, eating more fruit, lean sources of protein, drinking their water, not having the starch, not having the sweets and all the junk, they think, okay, well, let me go have some junk, you know, and I'm like, go ahead, because I know what's going to happen. One of 2 things are going to happen. You're going to eat it and you're going to feel bloated immediately because you're going to notice the difference in how you feel, or it's not going to taste as good as you thought it would, because now your taste buds have been they've been reset in a sense, because now they're used to natural sugar, they're used to more whole foods. And so when you go back and eat the processed junk and the stuff with the chemicals in it, or the fast food and all that stuff, it's going to be an immediate difference in your mouth. And you're going to be like, damn, I used to like this. And it's going to be a little sad, but it's going to be good for you, because then your body's saying, hey, we don't really want that. Let's go back to eating the stuff that we, you know, that is good for us. And so that's one way where people start to really make the shift, because your taste buds change. You start to find that you don't even want the same things anymore. So again, when you're first starting out, it's hard to see that. It's hard to even conceptualize that, because you're like, I like these certain kinds of foods. Your taste buds do. Your stomach, your digestive tract, all of that stuff in there does not like that. And so when you take a step away from that, you get a chance to see and measure and monitor how your body responds to those things. So, because I know a lot of people say, you know, we hear the term moderation. You know, we can have the things in moderation. So that's where the cheat day or cheat meal comes from. So let me say something about moderation. Moderation is really ambiguous, because you have to establish a baseline of health first before you could moderately indulge in some of those items. So you would like to have 6 days, maybe 6 days and a few hours, because you have a cheat meal. You know, because if you're eating healthily, that's not what? If you're eating better, you're eating healthy, then now your body is like, okay, I'm getting in vegetables, I'm getting in fruit, I'm getting in water, I'm eating lean sources of protein. And then when you have like this, the splurge item or the indulgence item, then you can measure, you can feel the difference. You'll know it. You'll feel a difference in your body. You're like, wait, I'm bloated. Oh, damn. Oh, wait, there's acid reflux. Wait, what? Or you eat something and it's cool, but if you go for seconds, then you're like, oh God, I shouldn't have had that extra blah, blah, blah. So what I'm saying in a very long, drawn out sort of way is that when you start to eat better, when you go and have the cheat, then you can feel the difference in your body. But so many people don't move away from a certain way of eating that they can't really feel how they are supposed to feel. They can't feel that that baseline of no indigestion, no acid reflux, no bloating, because you're used to being like that, used to feeling like that in your body. So that's one of the major benefits when you see for yourself how you feel in comparison to how you have been eating. But the main thing, like I wanted to, just kind of bring this all back to full circle, is that don't get psyched out when you hear low carb diet. Don't think, okay, I got to cut carbs. Think, okay, I need to reduce my starch or eliminate it. And I really need to get rid of that processed sugar. And if, like I said, if you're someone who's like, man, I don't want to give up those things, go without it for 2 or 3 weeks and then have that thing that you think you can't go without and see how you feel. That's the best way I can help you understand, and the best way you can see for yourself how that will transpire. Okay, so the thing I want to just mention is that I'm going to include in the notes below a link that you can download a free grocery list. Okay, there's 4 things you can download in this, well, 3 things you can download and 1 offer that you will be able to take advantage of when you click on the link below. Number 1 is I offer a free grocery list. Number 2 is I offer a free workout designed for fat loss. And number 3, I have a list, 7 foods to avoid if your goal is fat loss. And they go over those 7 items I mentioned, and also it also includes some substitutions that you can make. Okay. And then lastly, I have an opportunity, if you're interested, to book a free 15-minute call with me where I can learn more about your situation. Okay. So thanks for watching. Hope that makes sense. Comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care.